The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors called off indefinite strike. Also, federal government is breathing new life into the Gongoshi Grazing Reserve in Adamawa as plans advance fully to resuscitate the facility. Plus, latest from the world of sports, where the English Premier League takes center stage this Sunday. Details of these and more on Panorama with me, Ayodeji Makinde. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its indefinite strike after 29 days of industrial action. The strike, which began on November 1, 2025, was suspended following deliberations at an extraordinary National Executive Council meeting which held on Saturday. The Secretary General of NAD, Dr. Shuaibu Ibrahim, confirmed the development on his official X handle. Ibrahim explained that the suspension followed the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the federal government based on 7 key conditions set by the association. The conditions include the reinstatement of the Lokoja doctors, the release of the professional allowance table, payment of promotion arrears, payment of salary arrears in specific hospitals, implementation of an upgrade for doctors who passed Part 1 examinations and met entry-level requirements, implementation of the specialist allowance and resolution of the membership certificate issue. Health services were severely disrupted nationwide during the strike as about 11,000 resident doctors across 91 teaching hospitals withdrew their services in protests over poor working conditions and unpaid allowances. The federal government is set to resuscitate the Gongoshi Grazing Reserve in Adamawa State to its full potential as efforts are close for restocking of feeds and grazing. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, stated this during an inspection of ongoing upgrading of facilities at the reserve. Yusuf Jika reports.
Gongoshi Grazing Reserve is one of the 69 grazing reserves in Adamawa State, with a total land area of 9,500 hectares. Digitaria, Brachiaria, and Super Napier grasses have been cultivated in hundreds of hectares of land within the reserve, a testimony that solidified the renewed hope commitment in the transformation of the livestock industry. This is Napier grass cultivated in the center of Gongoshi Grazing Reserve here in Adamawa State. In no distance time, these grasses will be chopped and be presented to pastoralists to give their cattle as part of efforts to integrate them formally into the renewed hope agenda of transforming the livestock industry. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, said government will construct art dams, veterinary hospital, clinic and school to aid living of the pastoralists and have access to dry season pasture cultivation.
We are going to rehabilitate these grazing reserves to make them conducive to receive the pastoralists today that are moving from point A to point B. We can cultivate grass here. We can teach them to do it. This is the way to go. We are not banning open grazing. We are transiting in a methodical, gradual manner to rehabilitate grazing reserves between the federal government and the state government to make them conducive for the pastoralists to come here and remain.
Once we dam that stream, it means we can irrigate. And irrigation means you can have green forage all year round.
The minister also taught private ranch in Yola as part of effort to encourage and foster public-private collaboration in the development of the industry. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu San, says the conviction of Professor Cyril Indefon of the University of Calabar over sexual offences is a landmark judgment and a deterrent to others. This was at a press briefing, at a media briefing in Abuja to address issues surrounding the recent conviction of the former Dean of Faculty of Law. Correspondent Tokme Alabi reports.
Following a formal petition to the Commission after a protest by the University of Calabar students against Professor Cyril Osimhen Difon went viral on September 15, 2023, investigation commenced, and on the 17th day of November 2025, the former Dean of the Faculty of Law was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for sexual harassment without an option of fine. The press conference was convened to present and clarify the facts and the recent conviction of Professor Ndifon for sexual offences.
We are getting the students to own the crusade against corruption, and we are teaching them to be bold in reporting. We are also providing for them safe reporting channels.
The man went back and forth, tried to scoff the entire process, but God will have it 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner.
And that the elements of rape as an offense is very, very distinct and clear from the elements of demand for gratification or abuse of office that ICPC was investigating.
And it might interest you to know that some days judgment to celebrate, and also to further highlight our role as Queen's judgment to celebrate, and also to further highlight our role as
that offenders of sexual harassment and cyberbullying will not go unpunished no matter what it takes. From the ICPC headquarters in Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
Wife of Zamfara State Governor Horia Dauda Lawal has launched a global coalition of women-led organizations with a call for collective action to tackle the challenges facing women and children in the state. The launching, organized by Health and Integrity for Women and Children Development Initiative, aims to promote gender equality. Khalid Muhammad has more.
The launch of the coalition of women-led organizations around Gusau aims to amplify women's rights, promote gender equality, and dismantle systemic barriers. Wife of Zamfara State Governor Horia Dauda Lawal, who unveiled the organization, pledged the state government's continued support for protecting women and children's rights.
I acknowledge Carol's effort to confront the challenges affecting women, children, and vulnerable, and my office will continue to support interventions that advance their well-being, inshallah.
Founder of the initiative, Aisha Abdu Gusau, underscored the importance of addressing societal vulnerabilities.
Let us join hands to empower women, protect girls, strengthen families, and uplift communities.
Others who spoke at the event, including the Speaker of Zamfara State House of Assembly, represented by the House Majority Leader, Permanent Secretary, Ministry for Women Affairs and Social Development, and the representative of the Emir of Gusau, among other speakers, praised the initiative as timely, calling for collective action to overcome challenges affecting women and children in the state. In Gusau, Khalid Muhammad, NTA News.
In a significant move to create a single unified market access and attract foreign investment across the African continent, the Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies has organized the first hybrid sensitization program towards facilitating national implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement and its associated 8 protocols in Abuja. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Nigeria has been endorsed as champion and promoter of the African Continental Free Trade Area Digital Trade Protocol in Africa on the 16th February this year by the African Union Assembly of Heads of State at the 38th Ordinary Session in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Experts say this responsibility became imperative in ensuring the actualization of the agreement amongst member states.
Nigeria is leveraging on the AFTA operational tools in order to benefit from the access to the largest free trade area in the world by the number of participating countries, 55. And this particular largest free trade area in the world, which is in Africa, seeks to connect, about 1.3 billion people, and then each country and its citizens, Nigeria inclusive, we want to access the 3.4 trillion GDP that AFTA is going to create for Africa.
So this event, therefore, is more than just sensitization program. It's a demonstration of NIM's capacity to explore new and strategic frontiers of learning relevance to African sustainable development and industrialization.
Going forward, Nigeria is expected to look into partnerships, collaboration with institutions to achieve the set goals. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
To a bit of security matters, no fewer than 1,187 cadets of regular course 7 were commissioned as assistant superintendents of police at the Nigeria Police Academy, Wudil. Elizabeth Yilalamido reports.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ekbe-Tokun, hosted the graduating cadets to a regimental dinner where he urged them to remain dedicated, disciplined, and committed to the duties ahead.
As you step out of the academy gates, I charge you to serve with courage, lead with humility, maintain discipline, and never betray the trust Nigeria has placed on your shoulders.
At the parade ground, the event featured an impressive march past, a striking silent drill, and a tactical display, each reflecting the rigorous training the cadets have undergone.
Our administration is committed to supporting the Nigeria Police Academy, the police and other security agencies with the resources, training, and equipment they need to excel.
Awards were presented to outstanding cadets who excelled both in training and academics. Joy and gratitude were evident on the faces of families, friends, and well-wishers as they embraced the new officers. In Kano, Elizabeth Yilalamido, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, says the President Bola Tinubu administration will continue to adopt an integrated security strategy that balances military strength with community engagements to address the security challenges in the Northwest geopolitical zone. The minister made this known at the Senate Ad Hoc Committee's Northwest National Security Summit, where stakeholders reiterated the call for the establishment of a Northwest Theater Command to strengthen coordinated operations in the region. Muhammad Umar Ajengi reports.
The Nigerian Senate Ad Hoc Committee on National Security is summit, moving beyond their deliberations within the Red Chamber, arriving at the Umar Musa Eradua Hall to take the conversation on security directly to the people of the Northwest.
The senators are sensitive to the plight of Nigerians and are determined to play their part in finding lasting solutions to the problems.
Let me reiterate the President's firm directive for the armed forces and other security agencies to sustain momentum. He expects deeper interagency synergy, stronger intelligence fusion, and improved protection of schools and rural communities.
Even the colonialists, when they came, they did not have the requisite manpower to man this large expanse of land. So what they did was the indirect rule system. Why are we shying away from it? Take back community police, regulate it back to the traditional authority.
Governor of Kaduna State, who has implemented a working security model in the state, also shared key suggestions based on his administration's experience.
I want to talk much about non-kinetic approach. People misunderstood that term. We're not talking about negotiating with bandits. No. Instead, we're even talking about reaching out to the victims of the banditry. Because in Kaduna, only 6 months ago, we gave houses free to victims of banditry that were affected many years ago. When we talk about non-kinetic, we're talking about good governance.
The participants expressed hope that this summit will contribute to ending insecurity in the Northwest. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Marajinki, NTA News.
This is Panorama on the network service of the NTA. We are live in Abuja. More reports when we return. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. Nigeria's drive to strengthen primary health care, PHC, the very foundation of its national health system, continues to face real-life tests in communities across the country. And in Bayelsa State, the primary health care facility in Ogbogoro, for instance, is a clear example of both the promise and the pressure on the federal government's primary health care program. In this report, Ifoma Aikoje takes us inside a center driven by commitment but held back by scarce medical resources.
Primary health care centers are the heartbeat of any society, the first point of contact for immunization, self-delivery, malaria treatment, and everyday emergencies. When they work well, communities stay healthier. When they struggle, the absence is felt in most households. In Obogoro community, a suburb of Yenagoa, the capital city of Bayelsa State, that heartbeat comes from just one facility, a PHC built under the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, and serving as the only government health post for hundreds of residents.
We carry out family planning services, immunization services, nutrition and health services. So we take deliveries too. We don't have any file cabinets, no good laboratory, no power supply.
The health center, I know in the community, I think they are trying, but the only issue is that some admin things are needed from the government because the population is increasing, so some of those facilities is not enough.
If government and relevant authorities can bring the necessary facilities and medications to this center, this small place can give huge results. In Obogoro community, Yanagwa, Ifoma Aikoje, NTA News.
Now, under the leadership of President Tinubu, Nigeria is driving a healthcare agenda focused at building a resilient, technology-enabled and people-centered health system anchored on 4 pillars of better governance, quality service delivery, unlocking healthcare value chain and health security. Minister of State for Health, Dr. Ishaq Salako, stated this at the HIMSS Eurasia Health Tech Conference, an exhibition held in Turkey. He noted that the health sector strategic development plan under President Tinubu has placed digital health at its core in order to strengthen service delivery anchored on primary care, transform public health surveillance, and enable integration across the health system. Still on health-related matters, in the chaos of an emergency, every second counts. One decision and one action can change a life forever. This is the drive behind the federal government's National Emergency Medical Service and Ambulance System, NEMSAS. In Lagos, Nigeria's bustling heartbeat, there is the Lagos State Ambulance Service, LASAMBAS, which, like NEMSAS, races against time to save lives. Let's join Hingino John Adams for the reports.
Emergencies happen unannounced, and the initial care provided to victims can be the difference between life and death.
Emergencies do not wait for a perfect system. They demand decisive action, trained hands, and a prepared community.
NEMSAS, a federal government initiative aimed at organizing, financing, and coordinating timely and life-saving emergency medical care for those in emergency situations, works in synergy with states. The Lagos State Ambulance Service, LASAMBAS, has ambulances stationed at designated points for timely intervention. Beatrice Makinde is the coordinator, LASAMBAS. She is always busy answering duty calls that we had to do this interview via Zoom on the move.
NEMSAS has come to stay in Lagos State because we've been onboarded. And then the private hospitals and all private ambulance services had to be onboarded through Lagos State Ambulance Services.
The private sector is also working with NEMSAS to save lives, but the doctors have some concerns.
The National Health Act, you are not supposed to refuse emergency, whether you are public or private. Money is not supposed to prevent you from offering emergency services. And when you have treated You are not supposed to delay anybody on account of the fact that they cannot pay.
Experts say when federal, state, and private efforts align, many complications and deaths will be averted. In Lagos, Hinginu, John Adams, NTA News.
As Nigeria intensifies efforts to meet Sustainable Development Goal 3, ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all, Kano State is recording remarkable strides in reducing maternal and child mortality. Since the rollout of the Rural Emergency Services and Maternal Transport Scheme, RESMAT, early this year, more than 4,000 pregnant women have already benefited from its life-saving interventions. Samira Hamis-Oshira reports.
A number that I should call whenever I start having labor symptoms or bleeding, which I did, and a tricycle ambulance was sent to transport me to Nuhuba Mali Hospital.
Maria Lawan is among many women whose lives has been transformed by RESMAT. For Maria, who recently delivered her 7th child, this is the first time she has given birth in a health facility, made possible through the free transportation services offered by RESMAT. The pilot phase of the project is currently implemented in 18 local government areas with the highest rates of maternal and neonatal mortality. The initiative focuses on tackling transportation challenges identified as the second leading cause of maternal deaths in the state. At the Sharada Primary Healthcare Center, midwife Zarawa Ahmad notes that services could be further improved with the provision of additional equipment, particularly neonatal resuscitation machines, which are essential for saving newborn lives. Meanwhile, Dr. Sharif Yahya Musa, the Kano State Coordinator for Census, says the free ambulance system is fully ready for launch.
From the point we pick the patient to the point we start resuscitation inside the ambulance to the facility, up to 48 hours, all the services that will be given to the patient will be free.
So we have one community emergency triage officer who is a known person in the community that will disseminate his phone numbers. If there is any emergency, that person will be contacted, and then we have liaised with the NURTW drivers. One of them will be called, and then we'll pick that patient from her house or the child from the parent's house.
The state government has further strengthened the program with the approval for the purchase of 15 additional ambulances to enhance emergency response services.
Time now to join Suleiman Musa for sports updates.
The Abuja football community has received another major boost in female grassroots development as the high game football tournament kicks off in the FCT. In the opening fixture, Fosler Academy, dressed in their traditional orange and black, began their title defense with a hard-earned 2-1 victory over Hovel Angels at the Area 3 pitch. Founder of the High Game Foundation, Pat Ayegba, said the week-long tournament is designed to discover and nurture young female talents for opportunities at national and international levels.
We winning this first game now, we believe our next game we up our game again to make sure we win the next one.
This football is not just an exciting game. It's something that the girl child can easily use to get their mind off crime.
To football, as 7 matches will be decided in the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) this Sunday, as Shooting Stars will host El Kanemi Warriors in a crucial matchday 15 clash that could significantly influence the standings. Elsewhere, Barrow FC hope to reverse their poor run when they face Kwara United. In Aba, an Oriental derby sees Eyimba go up against Rangers. Warri Wolves welcome league leaders Nasarawa United. Kun Khalifat FC take on Plateau United, and Rivers United host Kano Pillars on Wednesday to wrap up the fixtures. In Saturday's results, Bendel Insurance defeated Wiki Tourists 3-0, while Niger Tornadoes edged Remo Stars with a lone goal. Still on football, Manchester City were made to work hard for their 3-2 win over Leeds United. Brentford maintained their fine form with a 3-1 victory over Burnley, while Newcastle thrashed Everton 4-1 to strengthen their Champions League push. In Sunday's fixtures, Manchester United travelled to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace. Struggling Liverpool visit West Ham at the London Stadium. Nottingham Forest host Brighton, and the day concludes with a blockbuster top-of-the-table showdown between Chelsea and Arsenal, a match that could reshape the Premier League title race. In basketball, Nigeria's The Tigers face Rwanda this Sunday in their final group game in Tunisia after enduring another difficult outing in the 2027 FIBA World Cup African qualifiers. Tonight's match will decide which country joins Tunisia and Guinea in advancing to the next qualification window. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. in Rate, with the loser crashing out of contention. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
And that is Panorama. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. I'd like to thank you for watching. Good afternoon.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.